Okay, we're not very late. It's 10:05. Call the meeting to order. Roll call. I understand that Mr. Bound is out of the country and Mr. Nimick is in court today. Ms. Thompson,
Present.
Ms. Pearson,
Present.
Robert Clemens present. So we have a quorum. We call the meeting to order. Do we have any public comment, Jennifer?
We do not have any public comments, sir.
Okay. Uh, First thing we have is the consent agenda. I would entertain a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
I approve for the consent agenda to be approved, or I move for the consent agenda to be approved.
Second,
Second, Rose Thompson.
we have a motion to second. We approve the consent agenda as has been presented. Vote, Ms. Pearson,
Yes.
Ms. Thompson,
Yes.
Robert Clemens, yes. The consent agenda is approved as presented. So the information items, Dr. Anderson, are you ready?
Yes, did you want to go ahead and do the action items, Mr. Clemens, first?
Ms. Pearson, are you fairly solid to be here with us for a while?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Well, I thought if you were going to get called away, we could go ahead with the action items and get them behind us.
And I'm here fully.
Oh, okay.
Thank
Very
you.
good. Then we'll just follow the agenda. And
Okay.
the agenda is presented. The next item is Superintendent's report, Dr. Anderson.
All right. Well, Jennifer, if you would scroll down there for me. First of all, good morning, everyone. We certainly thank you for joining us for this special call meeting to get these policies approved that were required by the legislature by September 1st. So thank you for participating. As the enrollment, the current enrollment as of the time of the report that was on the 21st was at 1292. We're at about 1330, 1340 right now. So this number is continuing to go up in a positive way. I believe by the end of September, we were around 1,500 last year, 1,555. And so we want to continue to grow to get to that number. We're also rolling out some initiatives to help us towards that. So my hats off to the principals of our campuses. I was actually encouraged yesterday a little bit. I spoke with one superintendent in San Antonio that has 11 dropout recovery school campuses, and their enrollment was only at 1,200. So we have 9, and so we're doing a little bit better than that particular organization. So we're striving to get, as always, my goal has been 2,000. So we're continuously working to try and get there, and we'll be bringing some new marketing initiatives from a gentleman that's going to be working with us and helping us with ideas and things. And so I think that 1,700 is very doable, and they seem to think so as well. So more to come on that, but that's where our enrollment is right now. Our ADA at the time of this board book collaboration was at 88.2%. Which is very good. As you know, we always budget on a goal of about 78% ADA. And as you can see, our budget for the 25-26 school year is built on a student enrollment of 1,555 with an average daily attendance of 1,213, which would be 78%. And that's in line with the budget that we propose to you that would lead to a surplus should we be able to get that number of students and maintain a 12-13 ADA that would give us under the new funding formula would leave us with a surplus. So we'll carefully be monitoring that. Any questions? Okay. Jennifer, if you scroll
Sorry,
down again.
Dr. Arman, can you tell us more about the initiatives that we're taking? I know that the principals themselves have, I mean, they always push within their schools, but as a district, what are we doing?
Well, so we're working with a gentleman who used to be the marketing director or head for Premier Responsive Ed, which is a big outfit that is doing some consulting work with us. So we're going to be doing some address specific targeted marketing, sending out some invitations, if you will, to enroll to some students. We're going to be creating some more targeted Google advertisements that will be hitting more specific populations. We're going to be doing some rolling out some I guess I call them commercial, but not real TV commercials. They're going to be videos. We're going to be taking a different approach to our social media, and some things like that as well. So I'd prefer to have Jeff really talk about it because he's a marketing uh, analytical guy, so he can tell you specifically the importance of these things. And they're just working with us on areas where we weren't really focused or strong at. That's going to be a huge I think moved the pendulum quite a bit. One of his partners is actually works for a marketing firm. Don't ask me the name of it, but this firm that she works for, they have a lot of things that they're going to be helping us with as well. So it's in the makings, and I don't have all the details, but there's a lot that's going to be going into this. But I'll be bringing Jeff to our next meeting to introduce him and share with you all what all is underway. Can't hear you, Mirza. You're muted, Ms. Pearson.
Can we go ahead and add that to the agenda for our next meeting just to talk a little bit more about the market initiatives?
Yeah, he'll be with us at that time, so he'll be on the agenda.
All
Definitely.
right, thank you.
Carrie, did you have anything to add?
No, the advertising agency that is working with Jeff is Sinclair, and they are multifaceted throughout the United States and have a specialization in Google Analytics and the production of, as Dr. Anderson said, the videos and the different pieces that all go together in a cohesive way so that we can increase our hits on the website and our notoriety. And then there are also some different people that he's going to be working with for the targeting mailings, and they're going to focus on a specific area within our campus. And so we're going to take some of the things we've done in the past and just take them to the next level. And I think it's going to be, I'm very excited to see all the things that are coming our way. So it's going to be exciting.
Okay,
And
thank you.
instead of like doing zip code mail outs, it's going to be resident specific targeting. Some system GIS, I don't know what it stands for, geo something, but
Yeah, it's geofencing. We can talk about it more about in the next one. I'd like to see some more information. There's a contract on there. I feel that, yeah, if it's okay, if we can just have that information for our next meeting.
yeah.
All right, thank you.
All right, next. And then, as you can see, the staffing position where we currently are, and what positions are vacant. One position at Killeen, two at Odessa, two at Fort Worth, one at Amarillo, and one at Midland. So 7 vacant positions throughout the district, and 5 campuses of the 9 are at 100% staff, and 3 at 90, and 2 at 80. And then if we'll go ahead and go down, and again, we are still at, we're at about 45%, which is down from last year of certified teachers. We're at 45 and 55 non-certified. So hopefully that will, once those 7 come on board, hopefully that'll move the pendulum on that particular piece there. Questions about the teacher experience or certification? Okay. If not, talk about the accountability ratings. It was good conversation yesterday about accountability and everything. And as you all know, in 23-24, we were a B district. We were at 80%. Um, uh, we were a B district at 80%. And then this year, we became a C district for the 24-25 with 75 percent. Dr. Givens and I discussed this, and still a big accomplishment. Dr. Givens and Jim informed me that that the rating we got last year was the second highest outside of the 23-24. It was still the second highest score the district has ever received. Dr. Givens, did you have anything you'd like to share on the accountability rating?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I just wanted to also just assert yes, yep, last year the 24-25 at a 75 was the second highest rating the district has ever achieved. However, this year we want to go and surpass our goal setting year of 24 with a B, and we kind of disappointed that we didn't get to enjoy that B a little longer officially. But our goal this year is to exceed the 23-24 school year rating.
And again, I think as Dr. Givens and I discussed too, this rating was achieved even with the cuts that we had to make to try and get the budget, somewhat down in the deficit area. But and Dr. Givens and her team continued. The DICs were not traveling to the campuses last year because we froze travel, and there was some resources that Dr. Givens was willing to sacrifice to help the district financially, and was still able to achieve the second highest score in the district's history. So my kudos to the campuses and the staff and Jim and Dr. Givens for their work in the DICs. So, and of course, Mr. Showers. All right. Any questions about accountability? As you can see, there is a sheet that Jennifer shared that has the actual scores by campus there. So. And Jennifer, you'll go back up to the updates. Again, as you all are aware, Governor Abbott has called another special session, and so there are some things that's going on. The second special session was called on Friday, August the 15th, and it was basically the same items as the first session. As you know, the Democrats didn't show up, and so it was pretty much the same. And House Bill 8 is the big thing there. It's related to STAR testing. It has passed the Senate. Or it's passed the House, and now it's back at the Senate floor. And as you know, that basically House Bill 8 is basically replacing the STAR test to do away with the STAR test, and to basically give 3 shorter norm reference tests. That you would have a beginning of the year test, and 3 days after that test has been administered, the results would be available. You would then have a middle of the year exam. 3 days after the exams have been taken, the results would be released, and then you'll have an end of the year exam. And then 3 days after that, the scores would be released. And so it basically the House Bill 8, Senate Bill 9, it provides a timeline for when the test must be administered every year. Again, it's 2 days, excuse me. It has 2 days. I thought it was 3. Originally it was 3. They've changed it to 2 to deliver the results, which include diagnostic reports for each student, and then recommendations for instructional strategies to improve student performance. And it places restrictions on the use of benchmark tests, especially for grades 3 through 8, where, a lot of schools would do a benchmark to kind of see where the kid would land. I think they want this to be more naturally flowing, that if you're teaching, the kid should be prepared to take the exam. So that is a change. And then they may only increase the benchmark scores or the cutoff scores every 5 years. And so they have to release the standards by July 15th. If you remember, this comes from that whole lawsuit thing where TEA kept moving the goals each year, and then they wouldn't release the new standards until after the fact and all of this kind of stuff. And so now the legislator has kind of cleared it up. You will release the expectations by the, 15th of July, and you cannot keep moving the target every 2 or 3 years. It'll be once every 5 years. So it says otherwise the previous year's performance standards will be in effect for the preceding school year. So if TA doesn't get the requirements or the standards out for the next school year, then they are bound to do the previous year. So that cuts out all of that lawsuit stuff. And then it still would require an annual rating of A through F, which would be released by August 15th, which is the same. So they would take those norm tests and I guess come up with a cumulative performance result for the year. And then they would also add in the CCMR piece, and that would be your designation, and advanced statewide not rated designation. So there will be, all schools will have to be rated. So, and then last but not least, the State Charter School Conference is October 6th through 8th in Houston, Texas. If you have not made your arrangements or had worked with Jennifer to get your arrangements confirmed or solidified, please do so. And we look forward to seeing you all there. Questions?
It's not a question, it's just, yeah, I guess it is. If you back up and give me that enrollment number again, I was still unloading my briefcase when you covered that.
1292, Mr. Clemens.
1290. And we're looking at
1555. Our ADA, we have to get our ADA up to 1213 is the goal.
Okay. Very good, thank you.
And we're at 1340 right now, Jim. Is that correct? 1340?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
1340 as of yesterday.
As of yesterday.
Yeah.
Hopefully it went up a little this morning.
Yeah. It went up a little bit this morning, he said. So.
Well, some people don't like to look at it until after Labor Day, but
Yeah.
I was curious to see what we are. May send you a note next Friday after Labor Day and see what next week has for us. Thank you.
All right. Other questions? Ms. Pearson, Mr. Clemens, Ms. Thompson?
Next on the agenda is Ms. Hernandez, the financial report.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
How's everyone doing? The financials today they're going to be year-to-date July, so basically the first month for the 25-26 school year. There's not much, or there won't be much change, I guess, since it's just 1 month of financials that we're looking at right here. The enrollment data stated on this report, there won't be any since the first days of schools were in August. So there's nothing to show on this current report. The FSP budget was built on enrollment of 1650 with a percentage of 75%. So the estimated refined ADA is 1213, which is the same number that Dr. Anderson stated.
It should be 78% is what we had, but is it 70? That's kind of 75?
It's 75, and so I saw that the enrollment number and the ADA percentage were a little different, but the overall refined ADA number stated is 1213.
Okay, yeah, because
So-
we did 1555 instead of
Mhm.
1615. It should be 1555 is what because I looked at the notes from
Yeah.
Tammy in our meeting, so that's where we came to the 78%.
Yeah, and so the refined number stated that they're the 1213 are the same.
Yeah, okay, good.
At the end of July, the school ended with their net position of 14,164,000. This is a drop from the prior month. So we're stating revenues that have come in, and since the school operates on an accrual basis, since there were no attendance days in July, there's no actual FSP revenue stated. So we're showing that there's a net change of a negative $810,000, with only revenues booked of 82,000 and expenses booked of 893,000. Our estimated first rating right now is set at a 67, which is consistent with what we showed last year and the year prior. The school starts off with a not so great first rating, but as we progress on, since we are looking at this on a monthly, cumulative monthly basis, the ratings do increase and will get better. And we're still projecting to see that as well. Can you go to the next slide? Our budgeted FSP right now is at 15.63 million. The summary of finance that came out in early August for this coming school year is set at 14.39 million, and this is these numbers are based off of pretty much what last year's ending numbers were. We may have to adjust for this come October so that we can get this gap closer and ensure that we do get a better rating for this indicator. Our days of cash on hand are at 162 days, which is great. The school is doing amazing there. They have a great fund balance. And again, showing that we're not really stating any revenues that have come in. The school has had cash come into the bank, deposits come in. We're just not stating any on the books right now since it's based on an accrual basis. Administrative cost ratio is a little high, again, consistent with what we've seen in prior years. We do work on this as the year progresses, and we end up around 6 points. So again, our goal is to get closer to 10 as possible, but we will work on getting this rating down. What we're looking at here is our budget to actual. So what we've budgeted just for funds 240 and 420. So as of July, this is 8% of the fiscal year complete. Again, you'll see that we're not showing any FSP funding coming in, just some small local dollars, but all the expenses are hitting. So this shows the negative $810,000 net change. The balance sheet as of July, again, is going to show a drop in our overall total net assets. From prior year, you will see that we are making some long-term loan payments. Our total liability balance is going down there. We have some accounts payable that have been prepaid, which is accounting for the negative $51,000 you're seeing there. It's not really net paid, but it's mostly just a timing variance. We'll see that quickly changes come the beginning of the next month. Our cash position, sorry, I don't mean to jump around, is $4,385,000. Is there anything in particular that anyone has questions on?
The cash balance is 4.3.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any comparison number for what that was last year?
The ending balance last year was 4.5 as of June. So within the month, it's a $200,000 drop. And we'll start to see this number increase when we make once we continue back the normal draw amounts, federal draw amounts.
I guess what I'm asking really, you'll have to wait till November with the audit to see what the audited cash balance is and what it was last year's audit. So
So you want to know what November?
well, I'm sure the audit in November will give us an audited cash balance for
Mhm.
the end of this last year, and then we can compare with prior audits to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a great thing to
Yeah.
watch and manage. Okay.
I know that the last 2 years that we have, as a board, agreed to go in deficit funding 2 years in a row, and this current last year was 800,000, and I think the prior year was perhaps 600,000. So
May I did look at last year comparison just before our finance committee meeting, and the biggest changes, right, were the spending on the capital improvements that the school is doing that are needed at the campuses. So that's mainly where the cash drop is coming from. That's the biggest contributor. Right here we have our summary finance, the first one for the 25-26 school year. The numbers that we're seeing on the refined EDA and the weighted numbers are pretty much the same as the ending for prior years, 24-25 school year. The biggest difference that we'll see is that this does include an estimate of those increased allotments from the HB2 bill that just passed. So if you can go down to the next page. Yeah, we're seeing slight increases here against the next one, but mainly you'll notice just overall the sum on the next page is about $500,000 more than what is stated on the summary finance from the 24-25 school year. And so that is the estimate increase that TEA has seen from the new bills that has passed. And as the school starts to submit their 6 weeks reporting, the FSP submissions, we'll see the allotments change, and then we can give a better estimate on what the FSP amount that we feel the school is going to end with. And you should have that data by October when we're suggesting the school does a budget amendment. Any questions on the summary finance? Okay. I believe that's the last of the finance portion. The rest of the pieces do break out the allotments, which we will watch more closely to see, again, to have a better estimate of where the school's FSP number will end. So we do want to operate on a number that we feel will be plausible. So this is just gives all the data provided to that. And if there is anyone on the board, right, who wants a more in-depth piece of any factors that's listed on here, I'm more than happy to speak more to it. And that should be it.
Any other questions or any questions on the finance report? Ms. Thompson, Ms. Pearson?
No questions at this time from me.
No, sir.
No questions. So thank you, Ms.
Thank you, everyone.
Next item on the agenda is the facilities update. Carl?
Yes. So let's see. You want to go to the next page? Give you a little update on our piece of property in Amarillo. We started our new lease, our new 2-year lease. It began on July the 1st, 2025. And then, as you guys know, we have our property that we purchased there at 2400 Southeast 27th. And it has been listed by CBRE. As of yesterday, we haven't had any particular interest in that property yet. However, there is a local sales auction that will be coming up soon, and CBRE is talking about presenting our property at that auction using the price that the board had uh, given them as kind of a minimum bid situation. So just to let you know that that is something that's working in Amarillo. Next page. Just I added a couple of pictures to show you the exterior and the interior of that property, just so you'll be up to date on that. At our Fort Worth location, on 5051 Trail Lake, we had received a bid for or an offer for that piece of property from CBRE. That piece of property, we're entertaining that bid. Unfortunately, there was a break-in at that location a couple of 2 or 3 weeks ago, and some copper piping and electrical wiring was stolen out of the building. There was a bit of vandalism. We've contracted with Belfar, which is a restoration company, to clean that up and put it back in order. Speaking with Will from CBRE, he says that the people that had made the offer are still very interested. They weren't bothered by the loss, that they would be working with us to move forward on that. So we're going to be presenting to him the photos of the cleanup, and they will be taking another tour this next week of that building to, I guess, kind of get updated on where it is. But more to come on that. We began our lease at the existing location on September. We will begin it on September 1st, and we'll have to relook at that again next year. And so, next slides. Go ahead. These were just some of the slides, as you'll remember, from the what the property looks like that we're looking at selling. And then I will let you know that we also have on the other side of the street, the Woodway property, where we're planning to put the school. I did receive the programming drawings from the architect. We have some estimated costs for that as well. And that project is actually looking very good at the moment. So more to come on that. And I think that's it for the update. Any questions?
Questions, comments?
Thank you, Carl. No questions from me.
Thank you, Ms. Thompson.
Move on to the action items, the board approval ratification of district contracts. Dr. Anderson.
All right. Then at this time, we have our, we used paper for the past couple of years, and that contract ended. And so we were able to find a cheaper provider and in the Princeton Review tutor.com. That meets the tutoring requirement for students that have failed the STAR test or whatnot. And so it's down significantly to 78,000. And so we're asking the board to approve the use to replace paper, which we were paying significantly more for in lieu of the Princeton Review tutor.com. Dr. Givens, you have any additional things that you'd like to share about the contract that we're asking the board to approve?
Only thing I would just like to add is that the screening or the qualifications to become a tutor for the Princeton Review is much more rigorous than it was for paper. Many of you may be familiar with the Princeton Review. It's how many people for generations have prepared for college entrance exams. And so it's that same company that will be providing the tutorial service, and as Dr. Anderson said, at a considerable decrease in price.
Questions about that? Then we're asking for the ratification of PowerSchool, which is our talent ed. That's the portal we do all of our keeping personnel documents and uploading our safe schools trainings, and that's the way Christina communicates with new hires and employees for personnel records and application tracking and things of that nature. And so we're just renewing that, and that was already signed in the amount of $18,920. And that's all we have. Questions? Okay.
We have a motion for action on this item.
Rose Thompson, I move the board approve the contract listed in Exhibit 1 and ratify the contract listed under Exhibit number 2.
Second. I'll second the motion. Vote. Ms. Thompson,
Yes.
Ms. Pearson,
No.
I'll vote yes. The motion passes 2-1. Move.
Ms. Pearson, you had a question or something?
No, sir. I do not. This is based on conversations we've had previously.
See, we have next on the agenda, Dr. Anderson, the adoption of board policy.
All right. Again, this is Communities in Schools. We were able to get them to assume all of the SEL positions for the district. The last 2 schools came in and agreed to take over the SEL positions, if you will. Most of all of them were either more or no less than what they were making with RMA. So that worked out good. Many of them got increases because CIS in many of the areas paid more than what we were paying for the SEL position. And so these are the remaining contracts that we have. Mind you, CIS is supported by the TEA agency. They work very closely with TEA, and even on the TEA website, if you all remember, I shared with you all data. The dropout rates decreased across the state of Texas, and the attendance rates increased where CIS sites were on campuses. And so I'm excited to have this. And again, Title I funding will make this possible for us. And next year should go down significantly more because we'll be eligible for the grants that they have to offer. But because we came to the table so late, only 2 campuses got the grants, which freed up some additional money for other sites to have the CIS programs. So I'm asking that if there's no objection, this would add Midland, Houston, and Corpus Christi. This would be the contracts for those 3 campuses, which would be the last 3. questions for me?
I move that the board approve the proposed partnership contracts with the communities and schools for the 2025-2026 academic year. Have a second?
Rose Thompson, second.
Motion second on the action vote. Ms. Pearson,
Yes.
Ms. Thompson,
Yes.
Bob Clemens, yes. Motion carries.
Yeah, I just want to say I want to thank you guys for taking on our additional staff. I recognize that there's going to be a lot of other programs available to our schools and our students, but it's also important to acknowledge that the staff that we've had have done an incredible job on their own, within their own means. But yeah, so just to thank you.
Absolutely. I agree.
Dr. Anderson, looks like you're still up.
Right. Then we have the adoption of governance policy module 1. And basically, the biggest thing that we had in this was the committee did meet Mr. Nimick and Mr. Bayon. However, the outstanding piece to this is that of the time. Am I right on this, Jennifer? Am I speaking right on this policy?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, the time. The House, the legislature passed a rule that requires boards to meet. It's not been a big issue for ISDs because they've always met in the evening. However, now it is applicable to charters, and the rule is working hours, that in order to increase parent engagement in the board meetings of charter schools and ISDs, that meetings must be held outside of normal working hours. Well, the question has been what constitutes normal working hours? And so I don't know, Ms. Clem, were you on yesterday with Hoffer, or did you join us or no?
No, I wasn't able to.
Okay, well, I asked Joe the question, what constitutes normal working hours? And Joe said, that's a good question. He says he doesn't know if TEA will later come back and define that, but he did suggest that in the board policy, we define working hours until either TEA or the next legislative session, they come back and determine what working hours are. Walsh Gallego said that she would follow the song working 9 to 5 or and that would define working hours. So we need to get the board to decide when I'm not opposed. We have several options. Joe said that, would lunchtime be considered normal working hours? So it's a lot of gray area here, and we may make a decision today, and TEA may come out with guidance in the next 2 weeks and say, well, this is what TEA defines as normal working hour. But my suggestion is that we play it safe. I would probably say that 8 to 4 is probably going to be, where that falls. We're probably, for the sake of board members, and I know you all are volunteers, I know that you all have families and things of that nature. I know Mr. Nimick and Mr. Bayon were preferred to do it on a Thursday. That way the Fridays and weekends wouldn't be tied up. If we had an in-person meeting, people would be able to travel and get back home by Friday and enjoy their weekend. I've thought about it. It's up to you guys. Maybe we need to look at 7 to 9. That may be a time to do it early morning, and define normal working hours from 9 to 5. Or otherwise it would have to be after 4, and that would be maybe 4:30 to, a certain time. But whatever it is, in out of best interest of you all's time too, we have to figure out, and Mr. Clemens and I had this conversation about really working this consent agenda a little bit more, so that the meetings aren't on your time in the evenings or whatever mornings before work aren't creating, 3-hour board meetings or 2.5-hour board meetings. So, Mr. Clemens, you have anything that you'd like to share on that?
No, not really. I don't have a good solution. I don't think there is one.
Yeah.
Rose
If it's
Thompson, I think the intent of the law is for parent engagement. And if that is true, then you have to do the 9 to 5 and have the meeting scheduled after 5. And if that's the intent of the law, other than that, I don't think they're concerned about the board members or the staff being available if the intent of the law is parent engagement, if that's true. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with Ms. Thompson. I mean, the same is going on for as well for local government. And the intent basically is to be able to involve our community, who we serve at the end of the day, and our students. And so I think that even though it is a volunteer position, this is something that it's our civic duty basically to be available for our students and our parents and our community. So I have no problem in it being the afternoon. Typically, just your typical working hours are 8 or 9 to 5, basically Monday through Friday. But it's not uncommon to have a board meeting, especially a school board meeting in the afternoon, anytime after 6 o'clock, basically. So I think that I'm in support of this, and it includes our parents as well and our community. I think it would be fantastic.
So what time are you suggesting, Ms. Pearson?
I think this is going to be, I mean, for us, it's, you tell us what, what do you guys want? At the end of the day, I also recognize that our staff does work an 8 to 5 and does have other engagements in the afternoon as well. So we may have to look as to how this is going to be compensated to them, or that time's going to be compensated to them. I think I will revert this one back to you, since the majority of the work, or it's going to come down to what our staff is needing to be able to meet these hours. As far as for me, I mean, you tell me what is best for you guys.
Rose Thompson, my recommendation that it not be held before 5:30. Anything up before 5:30 with the intent of the law. Nothing before 5:30. And I know it's not something we're doing every day. It's just 4 or 5 meetings a year. So it's not going to be that much of a strain for us who have said that this is our civic duty to guard our country and our students and our parents. Therefore, nothing before 5:30 for me.
I suggest that we set the meetings at 6 o'clock. That way we don't have to set a limit on how long it lasts. Meet at 6, and Thursdays is fine with me. In the communities I've always lived in, the time you couldn't meet was Sunday or Wednesday. And so I'd suggest that Wednesday night would not be a good night, but I don't know how this will work out. It appears that this is going to result in more and more remote meetings as we're having today. Maybe that's not a bad thing. Maybe it's a good thing. Probably we're going to have to struggle to have one meeting a year face to face. That probably would be in June.
Okay.
Perhaps we could work in the second one and just again with the intent of the law. Most anybody that's going to attend our meeting is going to be remotely. So I doubt if anyone's going to drive from Amarillo to any other location to attend the meeting.
Okay. All right. So then it sounds like you all in favor of 6 o'clock?
I'm in favor of 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, anytime after 5:30 is fine.
Okay. All right. Then Jennifer, have we solved the problems of the world?
Oh, we've solved one of them for sure. Okay, so I do have that the board would prefer 6 p.m. And then just to confirm, is Thursdays a good day for everybody?
Fine with me.
And I think we need to define working hours in board policy
Mhm.
as uh
9
9 to
to 5.
5.
Yes.
So therefore we'll change our are all our meetings on Thursdays already, Jennifer, in the current board calendar?
No, our current board calendar, our meetings are mostly, we do have one in May, I believe it's a Thursday, but the majority of our meetings are on Fridays.
Okay, so we need to move them to Thursday then, is that
Yes,
correct?
yes, and I would move them to the day before, and I can present a calendar. Um, I can present a calendar at the next meeting if needed.
Okay.
Jennifer, that won't present any problem with our 2 working days hosting of the meetings.
No, sir, it
Three.
won't.
Yeah,
The
3 days.
3 business days, yes. No, it won't. So it would just we would treat it just like today's meeting. Um, we would post Mondays before the scheduled time. Usually that is something that I can take care of in the morning. So it should not be an issue.
Do we have a prepared motion to approve this policy?
Is there anything else in that policy, Jennifer, that I was supposed to discuss?
The only thing is the recording of meetings. Nothing here has changed because we do record our minutes and we provide the video and audio. The posting of agenda notice, which is a 3 business days now, that's not an issue. One change that we did have, it is now required that if any meetings that will involve a budget discussion or adoption, we have to post a notice with a copy of the proposed budget. So that is new, but again, not an issue. And then we had one other addition, and Miss Thompson did, oh, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Meeting minutes do need to be posted within 7 days of the meeting. Regardless if they've been approved or not, we need to post a draft of the minutes within 7 days. And then once the minutes are approved at the following meeting, we would post the approved minutes. Again, this will not be an issue. And then lastly, I believe the other edit I have is parental engagement. And I believe that Ms. Thompson did touch a little bit on this on the parental engagement part. So we do have a policy here where we do need to act and adopt standards to encourage parental engagement and prioritize public comments, which we already do. and then scheduling board meetings outside of typical work hours, which is what we just established. And we will be sure to include the set times and days for the meetings in our policy. And then in this policy, we also had we had some edits to the security officers, and I believe that Carl could speak over this.
Let's see. Jennifer, so what we've done here is the proposal lists all of the options that RMA has here in for hiring security guards, and item number 3 is the actual item that, or the one that RMA uses. So we would put all of the options into the board policy, and the one that we're actually using is option number 3, but that would give us flexibility going forward should something change and we need to make adjustments. Want to go on down to the next section. And in this one, can you blow it up just a little bit, Jennifer? I'm sorry, I wasn't prepared for this. Okay, and in this section here, the board would be required to select the appropriate number of officers per campus. We currently use 1 officer per campus, and we also, once again, this would be option number 3 would be the option we would be selecting, and putting in all of the different options that we would have available. So in the future, if we needed to make any changes, and we'll go down. And under the alternative standard, this one offers that if something would happen, we would be able to apply for a waiver for not having a police officer for a certain amount of time, and we'll add that in should we need it. And I think the documentation. So with the documentation, we use the contract as documentation that we have police officers and our school safety officers on campus, and we also use post orders to describe exactly what their duties are during the day. And so that would cover section D there under documentation. And is there more, Jennifer?
I believe those are all the edits.
Okay. And so that just covers RMA has had security officers for years, so most of this we already abide by. So there were really no changes that we had to make to our program, just because we have done it for quite some time. Now, when we were at the RAC meeting yesterday, Mr. Hoffer presented some documentation that we would need to add for making sure all of our officers are fingerprinted and security checked. And Christina actually, once again, has always maintained that our officers had to be fingerprinted and background checked. So we're in compliance with that as well. there may be some additional changes coming to add that into this section, but not at this time.
Comments? I think that it will be to our advantage that Dr. Anderson, when you have your principal meetings, that they know exactly the changes that are taking place, and also with communities in schools. Whenever we have those new policies, I'd like to have that on the agenda for the principals. Thank you.
Yes, I've talked to Dr. Givens already. We're the next principal meeting, it'll be addressed. Other questions?
Do we need to make a motion for the change of the board meetings?
Yeah, well, we're going to update the policy. All of this is embedded in the policy. So the motion is there on the screen.
I move the updated RMA Texas Board Policy Service Module 1 for governance be adopted as presented and discussed today.
Rose Thompson, second.
Have a motion second. Ms. Thompson,
Yes.
Ms. Pearson,
Yes.
Robert Clemens, yes. Motion carries. Action on updated RMA Board Policy Series Module 3 student, Dr. Givens.
Hello, everyone. Okay, we're looking at Module 3 for students. The area of concern that needs to be looked at as far as an action is on, Jennifer, can you go to, I think it's page 352. And it concerns if we would like to keep our current policy about non-RMA students participating in our UIL activities. Currently, we do not have any UIL activities. However, in the future, if we should have UIL activities, this would allow students who are not enrolled in our school to participate in our UIL activities on our campuses.
So, Ms. Givens, is this more like actual like homeschoolers coming in
Yes,
and being part of our
exactly.
team?
Right.
Could this be used as a recruitment tool, possibly?
Absolutely. We can always try
Yeah.
to, have them to come and join us full time.
Yeah, and I think
so
that
what
might,
we would
we don't
like
have
for
anything right
you all-
now,
Yeah.
right? But maybe in the future. And let me ask you, what is your opinion on this?
Oh, my opinion? Oh, I would like for us to allow homeschoolers to participate in UIL activities, should we have any. Because like you said, I think it would help us to perhaps induce them to join us full time.
Okay, thank you.
Dr. Givens, isn't the law program down in Odessa, is that not under UIL?
I will need to check. I think it might.
It is. Yeah.
I think it
That
is.
law enforcement club that went to state, I think they are.
And I know we have many campuses have been very interested in the gaming, because gaming is now a part of UIL. And so it's something that we don't have to, build facilities for. And it's not, going to cost us a lot if we decide to participate. So there are some UIL activities that, we could possibly participate in without a big financial obligation. Okay. And so that is what we are asking for Module 3.
Jennifer, can you move us to the suggested motion? I move the updated RMA Texas Board Policy Series Module 3 for students to be adopted as presented and discussed today.
Rose
I
Thompson,
sec-
second.
Ms. Thompson, second. Vote, Ms. Pearson,
yes.
Ms. Thompson,
Yes.
Robert Clemens, yes, motion carries.
Thank you.
I believe that gets us down. Do we have a need for a closed session today, Dr. Anderson?
Yes,
Okay.
very quickly.
At this time, we'll move into closed session under Rule Board Trustees Reference Texas Code 551.071-551.074. We adjourn now and move into executive session.
Just as an information item, the org chart just basically changed in that because we no longer have a business office, internal business office. I moved it. We reflect that we have Charter School Success as a contracted back office support for HR and finance, which will be directly reporting to me. And then we put Christina, who's our HR coordinator, and Jennifer Jackson, who is our payroll support. They will report directly to me, and Carrie Ring will be reporting to Carl Tanton. And those were the only changes that were made. Because Christina and Jennifer Jackson used to report to Tammy Padilla. Any questions?
No questions for me.
Then if not, we're at the end of Mr. Clemens. I'll turn it back over to you.
Was there something but the special ed policies, or did I miss something?
It was I believe that,
And that was in the consent agenda,
yes.
those
Mhm.
policies. Yes.
It was, it's a handbook, and that is based off the edits that were made to the special ed policy that was adopted in, I believe, May. So the changes just reflected the policy.
Okay. That it? Ms. Clemens, you're muted.
We did have two board members included in that special ed policy revision. Do you know who represented us in that meeting?
Julius and
Mr. Nemec, I believe.
Nemec were
Okay,
the two.
okay, okay,
Yes, there was a policy, there's a policy committee for the
okay,
special ed one.
okay. Very good. The next meeting, refresh my memory, when is it scheduled? Said in Houston, I believe.
The next board meeting, we have it scheduled for September 26th, but we would move this to September 25th based on today's conversations.
And it would, location?
I believe that we still are working on the location, sir,
Okay, well, I
based on
had
the
asked,
changes.
yeah, I had asked earlier that Mr. Bound conduct that meeting. I
Yes.
will, and so
Mhm, mhm.
at that time, I think there was some plan for the meeting to perhaps be in Houston
Yes,
or in
sir.
Fort Worth. But anyway, just to keep that in mind that I'll participate in that meeting, but I'll have a, I've
Okay.
got to
Is
be
this
in
supposed to be
Waco
an
that.
in-person meeting or virtual?
It is an in-person meeting. We didn't establish a place just because of the changes that happened with the legislative update. We weren't sure exactly how this meeting would look like at that point.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I have to be in Waco that day, and if I can participate remotely, that'll be great.
Yes, sir.
And we've had some discussion about hosting meetings. I believe, Dr. Anderson, you said your take on it was that if we posted a meeting and we have the meeting where we post it, we're legal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, did Joe co-sign that, right? Remember when you asked him for his opinion?
His well, I also would like to share that legal opinion when it's finalized with the rest of the board. So I think he was going to clean up and make it an official opinion and submit it to us later. So,
okay. But it was in that same line. I'm almost, as long as, wherever you post it, because it's same thing as I said before with the Region 12 Service Center. 13, Austin?
Austin, yeah.
When we have it there, we don't have a school or campus there, but it's there and we post it. And long as it's so wherever we post the meeting to be at, as long as someone's there to let the people in and open, and in the facility, we're fine because we have schools across the state. So it gives us a little bit more autonomy.
Okay.
So am I hearing it correctly that we're having an in-person in September and then our meeting, TPC is in October, so that's traveling twice to Houston?
Yes, unless you all decide not to have it in person. It's up to you guys.
I would suggest that we not have in person in September and we just all meet together. And if we have to say something, meet in October. So I'm not for two in person. I mean, for the meeting in September.
Yeah, if it's possible to have it virtual, I think it would be more convenient for everybody, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Be good with me, but
Okay.
I just have to be in Waco that day, and
Mhm.
the way we've been doing it, I would at best be in Killeen again. I can't come to Killeen that day, so
Jen,
I
is it
think we
possible to
should
do it
just have it.
virtual?
I think we should just have it at your house, Mr. Clemens. You can have dinner catered, and we just, since it's going to be at 6 o'clock, and we just post a notice outside your door and meet.
Well, I had wondered if maybe if we just posted the regular meetings at my house, anybody wants to attend, we'll just make room for them, we'll be fine. But no, I'm just got to be in Waco that next day. That was the only thing I sort of talked about that a meeting or so, and it doesn't matter to me. But yeah, it'd be better that way. I can participate instead of just
right.
watch.
And just a reminder that this will be our first meeting in the evening. Now that we've established when our working hours are and when our meeting should start.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Mhm. So everybody's in favor for virtual. I know that Mr. Nemec and Mr. Bayon were also in favor of virtual.
Good.
Okay.
All right. No other comments or question? None? Hearing
No.
none, the meeting, I'm sorry?
No public comments, sir.
Meeting is adjourned. See
All
you
right.
next month.
Thank you all.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
All of you.
Bye.
Have a good day. Have a good weekend. Holiday.
You as well.
You as well, Ms. Thompson. Goodbye.